Welcome back. So the surge of the digital economy across the globe has brought with it numerous challenges. Key among them is the fast-growing environmental threat occasioned by electronic waste. This was the focus of the 7th East African Communications Organization Conference on Sustainability E-Waste Management. Regulators, leaders, industry experts and investors have been urged to not only see the threat, but also explore potential opportunities hidden within the discarded mountains of old gadgets. Jimmy Mbogo has the details.
In 2022 alone, the world generated 62 million metric tons of e-waste, yet only 23% was properly collected and recycled. This is according to Dr. Ali Simba, the Executive Secretary of the East Africa Communications Organization. He says e-waste data from the East Africa region remains poorly documented due to limited capacity. However, sector players estimate that thousands of tons accumulate annually, with much of it ending up in landfills, open dumps, littering the environment with toxic residues. An issue that the sector players now say not only poses a health risk, but also presents an economic opportunity.
In the connectivity of urban and remote areas have led to a surge in electrical and electronic equipment and subsequently e-waste. Experts show that e-waste is a double-edged sword, that when it is disposed of, it generates a waste stream that contains both hazardous and valuable materials.
And it is surprising to note that out of all this e-waste that is being generated, in Africa, only about or less than 1% of it is actually formally recycled or reused. And therefore, this is a real challenge to our journey of digital transformation, and it calls for all of us to rethink.
Government officials are now calling on the East African nations to harmonize policies that enable cross-border movement of e-waste for recycling and align with the African Union's electronic waste management plan. Director General of the Communication Authority of Kenya, David Mugonyi, calling for classification of e-waste as a resource.
As we apply ourselves to the challenge of e-waste, we must not lose sight of the imperative for regional cooperation. If we classify e-waste as a resource and allow imports from within the region for recycling, we can attract investors through giving incentives in recycling and proper disposal initiatives.
I know, for example, for the case of Kenya, we are not allowed to import any e-waste, but I think there is scope for us to look at the policies and the regulations to allow e-waste movement across the countries, so long as it is for purposes of recycling and reuse, so that we can take full advantage.
The conference also underscored the need for aggressive public awareness campaign and stronger enforcement, noting that regulations alone are not sufficient. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Makofi yao tafadhali.